Okay, so I'm trying to draw Ed's favorite artist slash architect's artwork in this picture as, you know, a tip of the hat to my uncle and friend. And I'm slowly discovering that Frank Loyd Wright must have been on some severe narcotics or something like that. Hey, this stuff is just, it's mind-numbing. It's like probably drawing a almost full Tetris game. I want to get it as accurate as I can because, well, Ed has a very scrutinous eye. And, you know, I think if he was a female, he would have had Frank Loyd Wright's baby if he could have. But anyhow, I've got all these geometric shapes, and I get it. The guy was an architect, so of course there's going to be a lot of geometry involved in any of his artwork, but that's just... I think it's the lack of pattern and organization, the willy-nilliness of it or whatever, is it what maybe is giving me issues with it. It's very busy, but it's completely geometrical too, for the most part. But I mean, geez, I'm already lost again. That's way over my head. Leave it to Ed to find somebody that's way over my head. Well, it's okay. I think we'll survive. I guess it's pretty cool if you start looking at it more, but I'm more interested in what he was experimenting with while drawing these things. It's such a far cry from uniformity and structure that you would think most architects would practice. Now, I'm in no way whatsoever criticizing. It's just a style of art that I'm just discovering, and I kind of like it a lot. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around it. And I don't know if you're supposed to wrap your head around it or not, but I like it. It's just very strange, which is probably why Ed likes it too. I think Ed's more of a fan of his architecture over his art, but I could be wrong. We've never really discussed his art. I can see why. This would be kind of hard to describe if he didn't have any of them laying around, which I thought he might, but I'm sure he does somewhere. Somewhere in that museum of a home they live in. I'm pretty sure he's got some Frank Loyd Wright hanging on the walls, or knowing him, hanging behind a secret door that leads to a complete Frank Loyd Wright. What do they call those things? An altar just completely dedicated to Frank Loyd. Probably be an altar designed by Frank Loyd Wright for Frank Loyd Wright. Frank Lloyd's good friend Ed decided to build a shrine to him down in his basement. And he just tells everyone he does laundry, but what he does go down there do is he, burns sage and does a little chant, and, he's paying his respects to Frank Loyd, I think. I hope that's what he's doing, because I don't know why else he'd be down there chanting and burning sage. Don't know if he's warding off evil spirits or... But I'm pretty sure it's Frank Loyd Wright related. But it's really, really hard because my idiot OCD compulsions want to draw this thing completely perfect, and it's impossible because I don't have the kind of space to draw it perfectly, so I got to improvise. And it'd probably be better if at some point I just stopped looking at Frank Lloyd's original painting or drawing or whatever he does. I don't even know what that medium is. Probably his paint. But I'm just going to stop looking at it and go my own way because it's, gosh, it's hurting my head looking at it. Ed, you amaze me that you can look at this. Or do you get headaches too and have to look away every once in a while? And I mean that in an entirely non-insulting way. Yeah, I met Ed through my wife, Tony. He is her uncle, married to her mother's sister. And Ed was a theater guy and a high-class guy. You know, he was you can just tell he was a well-versed, well-respected man. A voice that demanded attention, and still does. And, well, everyone thought, well, we'll hit it off because they're both from Ohio. That's a good plan. Yeah, two Ohioans in Michigan, of all places. Some people really take that rivalry seriously, and they give me dirty looks when I tell them I'm from Ohio. And I give them dirty looks back because, well, I pull for the Wolverines when the time comes, but I'm slowly moving away from sports. But that's a whole nother rant. But so so Ed and I, we were considered possible good friends because we were both from Ohio. I think I recall the first thing Ed ever said to me was, have you ever seen any Shakespeare at the Cleveland Playhouse? Now, I don't know if Ed's ever actually been in Lorain. He knows where Loraine's at. I mean, he grew up on the east side, back when there were still horse and buggies. And I don't know if he's ever been through Lorain, because if he knew where Lorain was or what it looked like or whatever, he wouldn't have never asked me if I'd seen Shakespeare in Playhouse Square in Cleveland. Theater's not a big thing where I grew up. It's not really the thing that people my age would do, even now. But being the sarcastic buffoon that I am sometimes, I said, "Oh yeah, I've seen a few there." And he asked me what my favorite was, and I continued on with the ruse, and I said I really like that one with the guy in it. What guy, he says. Oh, the guy that's holding the skull. That guy. I don't even know his name, but he knew right away. And I spent the next hour hearing verses from Shakespeare's Hamlet, was it? Hamlet, I think. And then I gave him a couple more tries. Then he started to wear on me. I felt like he was actually listening to me and things I was saying, and not just pretended, oh yeah, it's one of my niece's husbands to be, or boyfriends at the time. Yeah, I'll just pretend I'm listening to him and like him, and if he's good, he'll be around. If he's bad, well, we won't see much of him. Tony's a smart girl, that kind of thing. So I thought, okay, he likes me, and I never thought we'd become the friends we have. A lot of it has to do with our ability to discuss things and, debate things that we disagree on, which is very little. We have a lot of things that we're similar about politically, and pretty much, either side of whatever issues of the day, we're usually in the same boat. Yeah, we became really good friends. And I really don't have many friends. I mean, not ones that I hang out with, at least. I mean, I've got friends, but I'm not a social person. I don't need to be around people. Or even, it's just not my thing. I prefer a nice quiet night of drawing and reminiscing or creating something, and